Oh, I'm totally geeked about this. This is Dr. Kasia Kynes, and I have a very special guest. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. And this is, by the way, my very first ever Facebook Live streamed from Zoom with a guest. So Sherri and I, this is kind of a first for us, right? With technology. So hopefully you can see us and hear us. So today we're talking about something totally exciting. Sherri McKnight is a homeopathy doctor and a nutritionist, just like me, a fellow colleague with a passion for food and healing. And you know, in our community of people that suffer from Epstein-Barr virus, it's me. Rachel says it's working, so we are live. Great. In our community, you know, people are struggling. They are sick and tired. They have brain fog. They have fatigue. They have pain. They have autoimmunity. And anything that I can provide that is simple, doesn't require brain power and thinking, doesn't require energy, and multitasks is what I get excited about. So a lot of the things that are in our protocols are like that. And so the traditional naturopathic tools that have existed for centuries and multitask are just amazing. They're available, and this is one of them. So Sherri is in Dr. Marisol's team, and they created the best castor oil system, I think, on the market ever. The quality and the ease of it is just amazing. So let's talk about that. I actually have my organic castor oil, and I think this is a little old, right? You have a new one. That
your pack?
Yeah, yours looks prettier, but you see, so Sherri will tell us all about it. For our students in our EBV recovery program, we have a video, we have instructions, we have everything in our program dashboard. But for all of you guys here, just finding us here on Facebook, we'll make sure we'll post it on everywhere on our websites. You know, we'll have instructions and all that. It's pretty cool and very smooth and silky. So Sherri, tell us a little bit about castor oil pack, why we should get excited about it in our community. Welcome, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the invitation and for being your very first live. This is my very first as well. So
there's the two of us. Awesome.
Yes, very unique experience. So, and to speak about castor oil and castor oil packs is amazing in itself as well, especially with you. And so the castor oil that we're speaking about is Queen of the Thrones castor oil and their packs, right? So I have mine as well.
Yeah, you heard. Oh, that's yeah, awesome.
So notice it's in a glass amber bottle, which is very important.
No plastic, no lights. Yes.
Right, and hexane free and chemical free, and then of course this is our liver pack, which is the one that you showed as well. This is mine. Please excuse mine. I use mine, so it's definitely used. So that's the outer layer, right? And then the inner layer, that's the part that the organic flannel, that cotton, that goes against your skin.
So the one that is against the skin is
that's soft.
Oh yeah, the softer one.
Yes. Yeah, that's
so this is more shiny. The outside mine is a little shiny. So the softer one is inside. You literally put it in. Okay.
And then it has the wonderful stretchy ties, so it doesn't feel constricting, and it moves while you breathe. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful design. Everything's organic and feels fabulous. So it is basically you summed it up perfectly. It's simple, it's easy, you don't have to think about it. You put it on, you know, you can sit and work as we are right now. You can go watch a movie, read a book, go for a walk, have a nap, go to sleep. It's on and done.
Yeah, so I want to mention a couple of things, because this is, you know, I'm focused on our community with Epstein-Barr virus. However, it is for every single person. And pretty much the only thing you shouldn't use it for is during pregnancy. And what I love about it is being used in traditional Chinese medicine, so thousands of years. Ayurvedic medicine, you know, it comes all the way from goes all the way to there. Naturopathic medicine, absolutely, it's one of the therapies that naturopathic doctors train in. And what, you know, we had a conversation before. There's a couple of amazing things that it does. Let's go through the typical things that it does. It's great for inflammation. It's great for constipation, irregularity in bowel movements, IBS. It's great for better sleep, inflammation. So if you have inflammatory condition or immune conditions, you know, proper detoxification, antioxidant support. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that are of real importance in our community and in related communities. One of the things that I'm really excited about is a lot of people with SIBO have, you know, SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and that's where it's a motility issue. And sometimes the motility issue comes from adhesions. And adhesions form when you're hit, when you have injury, or sometimes when you have surgery. It's a natural process of healing internally. So if you have abdominal surgery, appendicitis, you know, you had appendicitis, you had fibroids removed, that's just going to create adhesions, and it can trap foods, and it can create SIBO. It can create all kinds of problems. And so if you know you're going to have a surgery, if you want to prevent that, as soon as the skin heals, if there's incision, you can use those packs, right? So they can actually help prevent those adhesions. Can you? That's right. People cannot really conceptualize, how is it that I put something on my skin? It's very well researched too. We're not talking about opinions. We're talking about studies. This works. It gets through the skin. It gets into your system. So can you talk a little bit about that? How can it do things like that if you just put it on top of your belly?
Yes, great question. Yes. So castor oil is a triglyceride of fatty acids. So I think it's almost about 90% fatty acid content. And so it consists of ricinoleic acid. So that's the active component of castor oil. And the weight of that acid is very important. It's under the 500 Dalton mark. So that makes it so that it can permeate through the lower level of the epidermis.
Wow.
And so now it can get into the deep layer of the skin where the circulatory and the lymph vessels lie. Oh. And that's what we want. We want good flow and good circulation to the liver, right? Which is where the detox and cleansing hub is. So then once we've established that, then we are working on regulating inflammation, which is where it would lead into the scarring and adhesions in SIBO and surgeries and so on. So yeah.
It's remarkable. So we're starting with surgery, we're going through SIBO, but then important things that you mentioned in our community in particular is the liver toxicity and burden from the virus itself, the inflammation from it, and the lymph, the need to clear lymph. We have a whole module on lymphatic drainage, moving lymphatic system when you can't exercise, because with EBV you really can't exercise. You're gonna tank. You can, but you can move your lymph, and there's ways to do it to support that movement. Exactly. So we have a tool, you guys. Put it on your belly. It's going to promote that liver, you know, the liver will be less congested. The lymph will start flowing. It's pretty unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Now, some people in our community have mold on top of EBV, because EBV kind of comes with friends. That's where it reactivates. So mold creates so much oxidative burden as well, inflammatory burden as well. So this is a great, gentle, supportive tool for that. Another thing that people struggle with in our community is sleep, insomnia. You have problems with wiring, like 3 a.m. waking up with heart palpitations and so on. So I think the packs would really help calming things down at night. And then we talked the other day about all the female issues, hormonal issues. So for some of you, ladies listening or watching, there is seed cycling. If you're familiar with it, you know, part of the cycle you do, you grind one kind of seed and part another. It's pretty tedious. You have to keep those seeds ground and fresh and in the fridge, and you know, you have to consume all that ground seed. So you came up with Dr. Marisol with cycling with actually hormonal support for women with actually 2 different packs. Tell us about this, because this is so exciting. There's so many women struggling with hormonal issues when they have chronic EBV. And in general, you don't have to have that EBV to have hormonal issues.
That's
so
right.
let's
Yes.
talk about that.
Yes, it's very, very exciting. It's like you say, it's taking an old protocol and system with, like you said, you have to go through so many actions, and you have to remember to take them, and you have to remember to grind them, and so on and so forth. And then on top of that, are you actually absorbing what you're consuming? And what if you have diverticulosis or diverticulitis? Are you triggering, you know, ailments and things like that?
Right.
So we took that and created a new, very simple protocol using castor oil and castor oil pack. So it goes with the moon cycle and the same seed cycle, which is so cool. And so for the first 14 days, you're simply applying the castor oil to your liver pack, placing it on your liver for the first 14 days. And then the second phase is you're placing it on your pelvis, right?
The pelvis in the back. Yeah, so the liver, everyone, is kind of under your right breast.
Yep, right side. So here.
Yeah, so right breast, yep. So that's 14 days.
Yep, so then the pelvic pack is slightly larger than this, and it's shaped a little differently, so it can go across a much larger span. So then you would place it on the pelvis and then tie it around.
How easy is that, huh?
Yeah, done. Right? How, like, it just doesn't get any simpler.
Yep.
Yes, and it's amazing. Yes, so we all know that food can take a long time as medicine, right? With the seeds, and also with the seeds, if you repeat and consume and expose yourself to those same foods over and over and over again, then we can create inflammation, leaky gut, and that's definitely not what we want to do.
And sensitivity. Well, actually, I used flax seeds ground for years, every single day, years ago, and then I came up with sensitivity to it. I developed sensitivity because you did it every day. Exactly. And some people are sensitive already to seeds of different kinds. So yeah, and let's talk about how you apply it. So basically you put it flat, you open the bottle, and you just pour a little sliver. That's all, right?
Yes, like a tablespoon or 2 at most, and then you can gradually decrease as time goes on.
So this will last a long time then. It's a
quite a long time.
Yeah. So do you have to refrigerate it?
No, just as long as you keep it out of the light and keep it in like a cool, darkish kind of a place.
Darkish, yeah.
All
right. So yeah, so this is a cycling. This is going to help a lot of women. I am so totally excited. So now I'm looking at some of the other, there's such an old traditional remedy. We're talking about, so hormonal issues, PCOS, menopause, estrogen dominance. I just recommended that to somebody yesterday. It's like, that's exactly what will help you. We talked about endometriosis. We talked about ovarian cysts, uterine fibroids, fibrocystic breasts. If you have fibrocystic breasts, where do you put it? On your breast?
Yes. Yeah.
You can't put it on your breast. Okay, put it on your breast. Sometimes women have concerns that they have maybe the beginning of breast cancer because they have lymphs or stagnant. It's all kind of congested here, sometimes growth here. So could you even put it here?
You could, because again, because of the ricinoleic acid factor being able to be absorbed in the circulatory and lymph area, then that's going to create regulation in inflammation, and then you have, like with scarring, you can have that breakdown of scarring, your lymph drainage, and I think it's fantastic.
So I'm looking at a list. There's more. So yes, insomnia and sleep problems, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, ingestion, IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease, stress reduction, anxiety, depression, ADHD.
Yes, and that is especially important with the packs, because the packs actually relax the body. So we describe it as like it's a big hug, right? It brings pleasure, it stimulates dopamine.
It kind of hugs you and then it warms. It's like, it's like a little squeeze. Yeah, exactly. Now, a couple of interesting things, cancer tumors. So, I remember when I lectured at Hopkins to the palliative nurses, the only thing we could agree with oncologists there was aloe vera juice. Everything else they frowned upon in terms of therapy for cancer. It's so tricky, depending with who you work on your cancer, if you have cancer tumors. So this is one of those things that you can actually apply during your chemo or radiation, doesn't matter. It's going to support you, decrease that inflammation, support the liver. These are toxic therapies. So increase the flow of the lymph so you're not stagnant with all that toxicity from the therapy. Protecting the liver, because chemo kills, right? Chemo is really aggressive. So this is a very wonderful, loving little blanket support that you can do. And you can be tired, you can feel really weak. There's nothing really much to do. You just pour a little, apply, and keep it there. So that's really exciting. And so this is a big deal. We have an epidemic of low thyroid. And what women may not know is that 90 to 95% of hypothyroidism, if you look at studies, is 95% is actually autoimmune thyroiditis, which is Hashimoto's. Now, for our community, Hashimoto's is very relevant because it is often triggered by Epstein-Barr virus infection. There's other infections and gluten, but this is a big one. And so if we work on EBV directly, we can sometimes, if that's what's caused it, we can reverse engineer it. So what I noticed is that you can apply this to support your thyroid. Tell us about that. This is so cool because majority of women that we work with have thyroid problems, right?
Yes, sure do. Yes. And that's fantastic because we do have a thyroid pack, actually, which you can
put pack. I saw it. Yes.
Yes, it's fantastic. And yes, we've had so many people reap the benefits of that. And I do know a naturopath myself who has gained some fantastic, she's just doing so much better. And she's only been using it for a short time. So, and personally, she's using it herself personally as well as in her practice. So yes, it's quite amazing. And as well as we also have a sleep mask as well, just on top of the thyroid.
Oh, sleep mask with castor oil. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, so listen up, everyone. It's not often that we have a tool. One of those tools is aloe vera. Like I said, I love aloe vera. It can do a lot of things. It cannot do this. So just, it's just remarkable that we have one tool. You can utilize it in so many ways and really support pretty much majority of body functions that we typically have problems with. And so just a reminder for those of you that are not working in our community yet, but have Epstein-Barr virus, you create a lot of oxidative stress. A lot of oxidation is burdening your liver. The liver is so congested, and liver is also targeted by the virus directly sometimes. You can have autoimmune hepatitis from the virus. So with that, you have all this toxicity. That toxicity has to go into the lymph. The lymph is supposed to clear it. The lymph only moves when you move, but you can't really move because you're so sick. If you move, if you exercise with EBV, you're going to tank even more. So it's like a vicious cycle. So we always look for things that we can support the lymph movement with. And this is one of those tools.
That's
And
right, exactly. And there's also when you are so toxic and you're not detoxing and you're not cleansing because of a clogged up liver, then all of the toxins circulate and they end up in your
reabsorb.
joints, right? And then you have joint pain, and there's different pains. But if we have less inflammation in the liver, there's better elimination, better detoxification, and an overall better functioning liver, which improves deeper sleep, balancing hormones.
It's like you said, it's a flow, the flow. We need to have a flow. And so, and if you've ever been constipated for more than one day, you know how crappy you feel. Like everything is clogged. You retox all those toxic burden, you recirculate those toxins through the blood. So I think this is going to be moving forward. This is going to be one of my key tools, Oh, one more thing about arthritic pain. You mentioned, when you are toxic, it can go into the joints and muscle pain and headaches and so on. It can help with the packs. Castor oil packs can help with the joint pain. If you have a particular, let's say a bad knee where you have arthritis in that knee, is that where you can directly apply the pack?
Yes, you can definitely apply it anywhere that there's a pain. So knee pain, definitely. So I would do like a day on the knee, and then you would switch it over to the liver, but never do it at two places at the same time, because the body
one at
has,
a time.
Right. Yes. Yes.
I think if it's a small thing like a knee, you could use your thyroid one because it's tiny. Put it right.
Knee pack.
Yeah. So everybody here is hearing where I'm going. We just be creative. And again, don't use it when you're pregnant. That's the only thing. And so, and the last question that I'll ask is like how, so we talked about the amount, and now walk us through how often and how long and the timing of it. What's ideal?
Okay, so usually the best time of the day to do it is about an hour before bed, for at least an hour. Wear your pack for at least 1 hour. More is better. So naturally, the liver is in its cleansing and detox phase while you're sleeping. So the best time to do it is while you're sleeping. So just throw the pack on, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and there you go. You feel better, hopefully. That's the intent. So, but if you can't do it during sleep or an hour before, then at least an hour any time of the day.
Okay, so it's good if you're gonna watch movies, you sit down, you just, that's what I like. You don't have to rearrange your life around it. You can
exactly, and it puts you in that relaxed state, because when we're in a stress state, healing's kind of a little difficult, right? As we know, and put ourselves into that relaxed state, and healing can come and flow, and yeah.
So this is fantastic. So so you can take 1 hour, 1.5 hours anytime you're in pain, discomfort, if you're home, and otherwise you can sleep with it, let it hug you through the night, or just 1 hour before sleep, turn the electronic candlelight, read a little book. So it's self-love. It's like a bundle of love. It's been around. It's very well studied, you guys. It's not just opinion. It really works. It will support your hormones. It will support symptoms that you have coming from EBV. So for EBV, it's like a perfect little self-help kit, honestly, and it's so safe and effective. How quick should people feel better on it?
Well, it depends on the person, of course, but we do go by the rule of 3. So 3 days, 3 months. It's dependent on the issue and the person. So as long it's all about repetition and like keeping at it. Just keep at it. Yes.
So a little bit like brushing teeth.
Right.
So let's say we have a chronic condition. We have that chronic thyroid condition, and you really need to get better. So you would brush your teeth every day, twice a day, hopefully. You won't just walk away and forget to do it for 2 weeks. Good luck with that. So
Right.
it's the same with supplements, you know, you don't take your supplements today and go back to them in a month, expecting that there's therapeutic effect for a month. So, but I think the value is that if you're chronically ill and you struggle and you really are tired and don't have much capacity to do anything, you can still do it every day. And as you do it every day, you're going to start feeling better and stronger. You're going to feel that inflammation shift. Do you have any stories about different customers of yours, just to get an idea for our community what to expect?
I sure do. I have two really short stories I can share with you.
Okay.
One is personal that I experienced, and another one is a patient that I have. So with my personal experience, the very first time I actually my first experience with castor oil, which was probably about maybe, 10 or so years ago, was
Wow.
when I was under like a very difficult time in my life, a huge transition. So I was losing my hair, like a lot of hair. I was super thin, like I had a lot more hair. And so yes, I came across castor oil and I started to apply it on my scalp every night.
Wow.
And it took about, for myself anyways, 2 months of consistency and repeating it as often as I could remember. And my hair stopped falling out. And that was good for me. So now it's like, you know, it's in the stages of growth because everything's cyclical, 7 to 8 years, I believe, of hair growth. So that was amazing for me. And then after doing more research and gaining a little bit more knowledge about it, I have a patient who had a ganglion cyst on his wrist, and it was the size of it was huge, and it was growing, and he had been dealing with it for 3 years.
Wow.
So I applied iodine, and then I applied castor oil, this one to it. 3 weeks later, it's gone. 3 weeks after dealing with it for 3 years. So
Wow.
yeah, he's very, very happy, as am I.
That is amazing. Yes. So we have a gift to share. So this is a great gift. So I'm really excited. I'm
Yes.
excited about our community having access to it. So wow, that's incredible. And one of the complaints that women have is hair loss.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
one of the biggest complaints. So there's many reasons for it. Stress is one of them. If your thyroid goes down, that's can happen. So you have a little thyroid pack here that you can apply. So that's wonderful stories. Yeah. So I have a confession to make. I haven't actually used it. I'm gonna experiment because, you know, I feel good. I had EBV, I had mold, but the interesting thing is my symptoms for mold was enormous skin changes, rashes, and itching, to the point where I ended up in the ER at one point. It was, you know, I was screaming in burning, itching pain. So I wonder if I had applied castor oil back then to that skin, because this is not just allergic reaction, that's just what it was. That could have helped as well. But I will do it like over weekends and, you know, Friday night in bed or when I watch a movie. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the only questions I will have is, once you applied it, do you throw it in the, so let's say you use it every day. So tonight you're going to pour, you know, 1 or 2 tablespoons on this, apply. Tomorrow morning you wake up, you leave it as it is to dry? You don't
Yes.
wash it?
So you don't have to wash it. It doesn't have to be washed,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't last forever either. So if you're using it every night or every other night or several times a week, then you're probably going to want to replace it every 2 to 3 months, depending on how like saturated it gets.
This pad, you
Yes.
want to replace every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes,
3
2 to
months.
3 months. And then, but you can wash it. You can, what we have people do is put it on the very top tray of the dishwasher. And it's just because you don't want to add soaps and things like that to it, right? So
Just like that. Put it just like that.
lay it like that, put it in the dishwasher, and it'll come out clean. And then I personally don't have a dishwasher, but I have washed mine because I use it so much and I just love it. And I boiled a kettle and then soaked it in boiling water, pulled it out, let it dry, and it's yeah, it's good to go.
So, okay, so I'm so glad that I asked about that, because that's, you know, I think now we have a whole map. So if I use it every day, I wake up, I take it off, and I just leave it as it is. And then in the evening I want to use it again. So I pour another tablespoon.
Yep.
Okay, so
And
it dries.
that's why we have separate packs too, right? So the liver pack should always be applied to the liver. And then the pelvic pack is separate, right? We don't want to be moving it from one area to the other because of possible, contamination of the organs, right? So the liver pack, pelvic area, pelvic pack.
Got it. But what I mean is just the logistics of it. It's okay to leave it out at room temperature after you use it, and then in the evening you come back. You don't do anything else. You just pour another tablespoon and apply.
Right, super simple.
Very simple. You wake up next day. You just wake up next day, take it off, leave it, and in the evening you take another tablespoon and apply. And you're saying you can wash it once in a while if you feel like it needs washing. Just not in washing machine, not in dishwasher, maybe flats.
Yes.
Not in the laundry washing machine.
Right, no.
Or hand wash gently, like you said, in hot water, and then after 2-3 months, if you continue using it daily, you should replace it, get a new pack.
Yes, and we have bundles. So there's you can buy 2 for, and I'm sorry, I don't remember, but 2 for the price of something on our website. So you can go to our website, and with any questions that anybody might have right now, they can go to our website, and we have a lot of questions that can be answered there.
We're gonna have, yes. So let's wrap it up and say this. For our community, for anybody watching here, we have a special coupon, right? It's Dr. Kynes 10. So yes. DRKINES 10, which will give anyone in our community 10% off from your products, except bundles, I think, right? Because they're already discounted. Well, you can go, yeah.
I believe that's the case. You might get 10% off on top of that, but
you just try and see. And so we will make sure that we will have we have a link already in the Facebook where we'll make sure that wherever we post it, there will be linked directly to Dr. Marisol's amazing castor oil packs. We're sorry she's not here today with us. She's a lot of fun. I watched her dance. Oh my gosh. Incredible. This woman is amazing. And then I'll never forget our discussion about poop.
Oh, yes.
Because between you, her, and me, we have a passion for it, for reasons, right? We just love that topic. So she's amazing. And this is a fantastic service globally. I already had a question though. That's a good thing. I'm remembering that question in email. Somebody complained yesterday, well, they don't ship to Australia. Tell me where you ship.
We're working on it. So we have our people are definitely working on worldwide shipping. Okay. So I think that the UK is on the list. So currently right now, as far, and hopefully I'm correct on this, so Canada, the US, and South America is where we ship to currently.
Because South America is a dear place for Dr. Marisol, so there is a special reason. Right. Yes. So, so keep us posted. Let us know so I can let our community know, because we have a global community where the market is coming up for shipping. I will announce it. It's important, So Australians, hold on there. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming to Australia. So in Europe, not in Europe right now.
As far as I know, not yet. Like it was mentioned in a meeting last week, and we're working on something. Now the shipping part is not my area of. Yeah. But they're working on it. I'm not sure if it's being implemented now, if there's something that they've done in order to implement that already, but I can get those answers for you so you can give it to your people for sure.
Yes, yes. So anyone who is not in our community, just go to www.ebvhelp.com. Sign up for the newsletter, and when we have announcement, you will know, you'll be in the know, because this is going to be an important element in our EBV recovery process. So it is here to stay. So we'll continue talking about it, supporting it, and educating our community about it. So you'll be notified if it comes to Australia, if it comes to, you know, European countries, and so on and so forth. So Sherri, any other thing? I think we covered it all.
I think we have. Yes, this has been such an honor. I am so grateful that we could do this. This is fantastic. You're amazing.
The honor is ours. This can potentially help so many people. This is why we're here. This is what excites us, that we can help. This is one little product that can help you in so many ways, in natural ways. Natural, safe, non-invasive. I mean, I love it. I love it. I just love it. Absolutely. I'm thrilled. So thank you for coming and finding the time. Thank you for all your knowledge and explaining everything. I think we're going to make sure that video is available. You want to watch this video before you start using it. You'll know everything about it. You'll be a pro. So Sherri, thank you so much for finding the time and coming and explaining all that. Really excited to have you. And we just completed our very first Facebook Live together with Zoom. Woohoo! We're getting really techy.
We did it. High five.
High five.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So thank you for coming and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.